We got some breaking news here. The Washington Times is reporting that the Biden administration may indeed finish Trump's border wall, all as the border crisis spins out of control. In this video, we're going to take a look at what the Secretary of Homeland Security is admitting about finishing the border wall, how Biden's poll numbers are in fact in a free fall because of the crisis, but why it appears all too little too late to stop the political disaster that has become the Biden administration. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Wonderful to be with you. As always, we're here to give you each and every single day conservative hope in the midst of these turbulent and trying times, helping you think better so you can feel better and provide for you a patriot path to freedom. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we begin, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's our good friends over at PATRIOT and their awesome immune system supporting product, Ageless Body. With our rapid advances in science over the years, there are now much more powerful and effective ways to boost our immune systems than just taking mega doses of vitamin C. In fact, our sponsors over at PATRIOT have combined four of the world's best immune supporting powerhouses along with that mega dose of vitamin C in their #1 immunity support product, Ageless Body. Simply put, Ageless Body provides you 5 of the most powerful immune support ingredients available. And best of all, if you click on that link below today, you can now get Ageless Body at their lowest price ever, 51% off with free US shipping to boot. So do not wait. Click on that link or go to agewithsteveturley.com. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. We've got some breaking news. As I said, the Washington Times is reporting an exclusive that the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has indeed told department employees that he may restart border wall construction in order to plug up what he's calling the gaps in the courier barrier. In a conversation with Immigration and Customs Enforcement employees last week, Mr. Mayorkas was asked about his plans for the wall, and he said that while President Biden has canceled the border emergency and halted Pentagon money flowing to the wall, quote, that still leaves room to make decisions on finishing some gaps in the wall. Mr. Mayorkas, according to notes of the ICE session reviewed by the Washington Times, said Customs and Border Protection, which oversees the wall, has indeed submitted a plan for what it wants to see happening moving forward. Again, according to Mr. Mayorkas, quote, the president has communicated quite clearly his decision that the emergency that triggered the devotion of DoD funds to the construction of the border wall is ended, but that leaves room to make decisions as the administration, as part of the administration, particular areas of the wall that need renovation, particular projects that need to be finished. And so now this bombshell report is making its rounds in the media, and critics of the Biden administration have wasted no time in pointing out the obvious hypocrisy in all this. Trending politics led with the headline, Racist Biden? Biden may continue Trump's border wall as border crisis spins out of control. And it goes on to point out that the Biden administration is already flip-flopping on the border. Remember, Biden came out and said that he wouldn't add so much as a single inch of new construction to that racist wall. And now we're getting word from top Biden administration officials that the border wall indeed is going to be finished. That is, well, as they put it, they're going to fill in the gaps, which is just another way of saying that they're just going to finish the remaining work needed for the border wall. Look, you don't have to be a genius to figure out what's going on here. We talked about this in a video just the other week. We featured a recent ABC poll where only, by the way, 26% of the poll respondents were Republicans, as compared to 31% for Democrats, 36% of independents. So it was obviously a skewed poll that tried to give Biden some cover here. Only 1 in 4 respondents were Republicans. But nevertheless, look at these results. 57% of those polled disapproved of Biden's handling of the situation with migrants and unaccompanied children showing up at the border. 56%. Moreover, Americans aren't buying the Biden border spin that this isn't a crisis. 54% said that the border situation was currently a crisis, while 42% said it was a serious problem but not a crisis. So nearly 60% disapprove of Biden's handling of the border, and an astonishing 96% believe it's either a crisis or a very, very serious problem. And it's not just ABC issuing these dire polls. According to Rasmussen, 2/3 of likely voters blame Biden for the border chaos, which of course is getting worse by the day. Even the radical left mainstream Marxist media is having to admit that their deliberate attempt at casting Joe Biden as the savior of the republic is simply not working, precisely because as every new day passes, Americans are seeing their republic under assault. Rasmussen is reporting that 73%, 3 in 4 likely voters, are concerned about the flood of migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. 48% are very concerned, and 51% of likely voters oppose giving them any form of amnesty. So as we pointed out last week, we're barely 60 days into Biden's term. He already has a major disaster in his hands that's only going to get worse, both at the border and with Biden's own poll numbers. Look at this from Rasmussen. This just came out today, literally hours ago. Biden is underwater with only a 47% approval rate. 47%. He's not even finished his first 100 days in office, which is historically considered the honeymoon period. 47% approval, 51% disapprove. So the crisis at the border is clearly Biden's Katrina, right? That's what his Hurricane Katrina, that's what we've been calling it. It's a presidential crisis of his own making, and I really don't think there's anything he can do to frankly stop his hemorrhaging support. Right now, as we speak, estimates are that barely a month into Biden's presidency, by the end of February, the numbers of migrants crossing the southern border exceeded 100,000. To make matters even worse, as I'm sure most of you know, more than 100 illegal immigrants released by the Border Patrol into Texas since late January have tested positive for the coronavirus following their arrival. Anywhere from 6 to 10% of the total migrants who've been tested after crossing the border have indeed tested COVID positive. And yet, they're being released into the general population. So needless to say, the crisis at the southern border is absolutely crippling the Biden administration, and they're so desperate that they may even end up finishing Trump's wall. And you know what? The saddest part in all of this is that this was all totally and completely predictable, right? What's happening at the southern border and the implosion of the Biden administration was totally predictable. But before we get into that, I told you again, we had a big announcement this week, and here it is. We are officially launching the new conservative PATRIOT movement. It is a blueprint to constructing a parallel world, one that's absolutely free from secular overreach, cancel culture, socialism, Marxism, everything you hate about the current woke world all around us. After consulting with top conservative minds and leaders in conservative education, economics, and entrepreneurship, we formulated a plan on how to build back the world we know and love, and we're going to do it together. And so on April 16th and 17th, I'll be hosting the very first new Conservative Patriot Live, where I and several special guests will teach you to make sense of the confusion you feel in the world by discovering the new conservative patriot approach to leading your families and your communities towards independence and freedom. This is a virtual conference where you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home, but you can be sure your life is about to change. Are you stuck in a 9-to-5 woke job? Are you feeling enslaved to these liberal banks? Are your kids in the public school system being taught absolute Marxist garbage? This virtual conference is for you. So do not wait. Click on that link below and take advantage of our early bird registration special and sign up today for the beginning of the rest of your life. Click on that link below. Sign up for our new Conservative Patriot Live conference, and let's build back the world we know and love together. All right. So look, make no mistake here. Whether Biden likes it or not, this scene at the southern border was always going to be the downfall of his administration. And we could have told him that. And this is because we see nothing short of a massive political paradigm shift over the last decade, not just here in the United States, but indeed throughout the entire world, where nation after nation is reasserting their national sovereignty by renewed emphasis on border security. I don't know if you know this. We've talked about it before, but 2016 was actually called by one publication the year of the wall. And it was called the year of the wall precisely because everywhere you looked, nations were tightening their borders. You could look at France, Hungary, India, Austria, Italy, Greece, Israel. We could go on and on and on. Everywhere we looked, border walls were going up They were not coming down. And these are thoroughly nationalist, populist walls that sought to protect culture, religion, tradition, language, land, and custom from the anti-cultural dynamics of globalization. So the political language and policies that explicitly seek to protect national interests and identities are now the new norm. This is why the vast majority of Americans supported President Trump's travel ban back in 2017, when he enforced bans against travelers from Chad and Iran and Libya, Somalia, Syria, Yemen. But now with COVID, now with this whole pandemic situation, ironically now virtually every nation on the planet is following suit, right? We're all xenophobes now, right? I mean, there's just no way around this. The coronavirus exposed, perhaps more than anything else, the radical fault inherent in globalization. Globalization, by its nature, requires open borders that radically compromises our national security, and those days are over. So it's no coincidence that the more Biden opens up our borders, the more his poll numbers implode. The good news is that it's not just America, but frankly, the world has had enough with these open border globalists. Now it's time to politically bury them once and for all. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel. Definitely click on the link and check out some of our awesome merch. And you'll definitely want to check out my latest video. I just uploaded it on how there's a massive backlash going on against the newly woke Major League Baseball as cancel culture has begun canceling itself. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.